Could one of the stars of the NCAA tournament be on his way to the Los Angeles Lakers? According to Shams Charania, the Lakers recently worked out Big DJ Burns of NC State. However, he is not as big as he used to be, as he showed off a picture of his massive weight loss. What's good, y'all, and welcome to another Lakers Digest video. I'm your host, Okechi Apakama, and before we get into everything we have for you for today's video, guys, I want to bring your attention to something. There is 88% of you guys who recently watched our videos who are not subscribed to the channel just yet. And if you guys want more of that, Laker news, Laker reactions, trade rumors, game recaps, just every and all things LA Lakers, you guys want to come right here to Lakers Digest so you guys do not miss any of those off-season updates, guys. Now, with that out the way, let's hop straight into the topics we have for you for today's video, as DJ Burns worked out for the Lakers. So, for those of you who do not know, DJ Burns had a tremendous run for North Carolina State, and he propelled that team all the way to the Final Four. And while he had a very solid college career, it's on to his next venture, which is the NBA for him. And a lot of people are projecting where DJ Burns could go, because he was a guy who really dominated towards the latter stages of his college career and really started to make a name for himself in that way. But according to Shams Charania, he recently worked out for the Los Angeles Lakers, and then he showed off a massive weight loss. So Shams Charania said that he lost over 45 pounds in about 6 weeks, and then he was doing workouts 4 days a week starting at 5 a.m. So just to give you guys a little picture here, like, this is the transformation that DJ Burns went through in this past 6 weeks after the college season ended, and then he started to get into those NBA workouts, started getting ready for the draft combine and stuff like this. So to see something like that, that is pretty tremendous for that guy DJ Burns, because he was coming in to college, or excuse me, his senior year, weighing around 275, which is very massive, especially at the college level where you can just easily dominate. But in the NBA, that's not good enough, especially if you're not able to move your feet, especially in today's NBA. You can really get exposed on the defensive end, and then if you're a defensive liability, you're a very hard guy to really play for some teams. So for the Los Angeles Lakers' sake, DJ Burns, they're bringing him in for a workout for probably like a guy they truly don't need, as he's mainly just a post scorer. That's one of his main skills and main attributes. But for the Los Angeles Lakers, they're obviously doing their due diligence in their draft process, and they're looking at a whole bunch of guys, a whole slew of guys. So DJ Burns is just another one on the list. And what he can do possibly could help the Lakers down the road, but that's also depending on how he develops and how well he's able to adjust to the NBA game. But let's just bring in some just stats of what he had during his college season here. And so DJ Burns was averaging about 12.9 points per game, 4 rebounds a game, 2.9 assists, while shooting about 53% in about 41 games played in his senior season. They did spike up a little bit when they went through the tournament. He was averaging about 16 points a game, just about 4.5 assists, shooting over 60% from the field. So DJ Burns really stepped up his play when it came to the big moments and higher level games for sure. But those numbers definitely aren't going to wow anybody, but that's just a symptom of just the college game, just how it's played, and it's not really done at the NBA pace and the NBA level. So you don't see too many guys truly averaging over 20 points in the college game. So now transfer that over to the NBA. You obviously got to look at like what type of abilities he has, and like his strengths and weaknesses. And so for a guy like DJ Burns, like I said, his offensive post scoring, that's his main bread and butter. That's why he's been able to get some of these comparisons, like a guy like Zach Randolph, who some Laker fans know from those Memphis Grizzlies years, or maybe even earlier back when he played back for the Portland Trailblazers. But that's kind of the comp that he's been getting. He's got very good footwork. He's a guy who has good hands too, so he can catch almost anything. He's also pretty good when it comes to double teams. That's why he was averaging about 4.5 in the tournament on assists. So he was able to get the ball out away from double teams and really help his teammates for open looks and stuff like that. But now we're just kind of think, how would he look like next to on the Los Angeles Lakers? Would this be a viable option for the Los Angeles Lakers to pick up a guy like DJ? And obviously it depends on where we get him. it is very unlikely, just going through a whole bunch of different mock drafts and just the way people are talking about him, that he will get drafted at all, as the Lakers are probably going to look for that upstart player, or a player with a lot of upside at that 17th pick that they have, or they might looking to trade that pick, and then with their second round pick, it's probably pretty likely that they'll go with Bronny James. So that leaves DJ Burns as a guy who's probably going to be picked up as maybe a two-way contract guy, or a guy they put on a summer league team. So that's probably going to be a way for DJ Burns to really get on the floor and really make a name for himself with his offensive low post scoring. And then we'll see what this weight transformation does to his game. If it makes him a little bit quicker, especially on the defensive end, that can be really helpful for him, because he is a guy that so far doesn't really have too much defensive ability besides post defending. But then there's only a handful of guys in the NBA who are really true post players, like back to the basket type players. And DJ Burns is 6'9", so he's not really a tall guy either. So, and he doesn't have a long wingspan either. So he can't really use his physical gifts to really bother bigger opponents. So when it comes to post defending, he's usually just using his body and his weight and his massive size to really hold off guys like that. But when it comes to the Los Angeles Lakers and what they need is, like, they need a guy next to Anthony Davis who can do some of those shot blocking things if needed, can rebound, and then also be a guy to spell Anthony Davis when he's not off the floor. And then I don't think DJ Burns truly fits that description. He, like I said, the offensive value is very intriguing, but then again, he's a post scorer and he's a guy who doesn't really shoot threes at all. So when you have a team centered around LeBron James and Anthony Davis to go along with Rui Hachimura, and then you also are paying Jared Vanderbilt money to play some minutes at those forward spots, it really makes a hard case to bring in a guy like DJ Burns and see if he could actually make an impact for this Laker team, especially right away. He is a bit of an older prospect, like he went through a senior season, so he is 23, so there is a little bit less upside. Sure, he could be more NBA ready per se with his offensive repertoire and his moves, but when it comes to things the Lakers need, some of the stuff that he does well, it's not really needed what the Lakers. It's not what the Lakers truly need. They need a guy who's probably going to be a high energy type big, a guy who can run up and down the floor, catch lobs, block shots. That type of big is the type of player that I think the Lakers could use. Sure, they can use another big physical guy, but he needs to be more of like a defensive force and bruiser. And then I showed you his stats earlier in college, and the thing that truly worried me is at 4.0 rebounds a game. I know he was playing the power forward spot at sometimes at NC State, but that doesn't truly bode well for me if a guy who you're going to trust to be playing next to Anthony Davis doesn't really rebound the ball super well, because we saw that even a little bit with Rui Hachimura, as he isn't the best rebounder, especially when he's not looking to get them. So when you have a guy who isn't really helping you stretch the floor, or a guy adding to your defensive value, I don't really see a reason why the Lakers would bring a guy like this onto their team, especially when they have another two-way guy on the roster who I do think could help the team next season in the name of Colin Castleton. He's a guy that I'm still a little bit more higher on. He's a guy that didn't play too much last year for the Los Angeles Lakers, but he did play a good deal for their G League squad, and he was pretty solid. A guy that was able to average almost a double-double, and then block shots as well. So Colin Castleton is a guy that I would more see viable the Lakers use in their time, rather than going after a guy like DJ Burns, despite of what he did in the NCAA tournament, because guys like this sometimes they have these huge level of success in college, but then it doesn't really translate to the NBA game. So like another guy like this who has recently come out is like Kenny Lofton Jr. Some of you guys may have seen his G League highlights for, I believe, the Memphis Grizzlies, and he moved teams recently, but then he's been a guy that had some of that, offensive low post value. He was a little bit different in Burns, where he can shoot the three a little bit, but he doesn't really have too much viability for an NBA court, especially because he can't do too much on the other side of the ball. So that's what's really going to get you paid in the NBA. But let us know what you guys think. Do you guys think the Lakers should pick up a guy like DJ Burns? Or should they be focusing on something else, like either trading their picks that they have for another superstar talent, or drafting another guy, maybe like a Cam Christie or even a Bronny James. So one of those type of names. So let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. I have been your host, Okechi Apakama, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.